Welcome out to BluSky TV. This is Coach Matt for the Technical Lab. You guys know how we get down during the Technical Lab. We like to talk about technicals as we navigate price action. So, not too dissimilar than what we do in Power Hour. Like to navigate technically, like to talk technicals, and like to make trades. And that's what we're going to be focusing on here over the next couple hours. I'll have Coach Becky join me in the second hour for official Power Hour. If you're new to BluSky TV, hit that subscribe to know when we go live. Mike in the morning kills it every single day. Me and Becky like to be the caboose in the train to kind of pull up at the end of the station for Power Hour, but you'll get notified every time we go live. And if you are new to prop and BluSky, head over to the website. You can get the link in the description below and check out amazing challenges with those orbit plans as well. Where I kind of want to start before we get into too much of the detail from a technical perspective is I just think it's important to understand the lay of the land here. And what I mean by that is even when you navigate on the short-term side of the equation, whether it's 5, 15, 2, 30 hourly charts, it's always important to have a little bit of an understanding of the broader technical perspective. What environment are you trading in? Sometimes when we look at the overall intraday side of the equation, we kind of lose the forest through the trees a little bit because we're not looking at it from the longer time frames. But from the longer time frames, I think this is a pretty simple technical understanding. We're dealing with what's called a multiple time frame breakout right now against the longer time frame analysis. And so, for example, I'm going to go into toss to kind of really look at it from a multiple time frame perspective, and then we'll get back into trade C from the short term perspective. But when you're looking at the longer term perspective here, you're dealing with a bullish catalyst week, meaning this is the week we are seeing a breakout of the longer term technical side of the equation. So for the better part of the last 2.5 months, what we've been trading inside of is basically a neutral trend where as day traders go, you're going to be a little bit more aggressive in neutral trends in the market. You're going to be a little bit more level to level. But as we break out and the market starts to hypothetically trend here, and I say hypothetically because we still need to see that ultimate confirmation, which will most likely happen tomorrow. But if we do start to trend, day trading can be a little bit more loose. And what I mean by that is you're willing to hold a little bit longer because the longer term trends support your analysis to a certain extent. And so when you come out to the longer term time frame and you look at the monthly chart, for example, what you have here in totality is last quarter on a positive earnings season, we saw the breakout of 7K. That was the beginning point of this new long-term trend. And so what you have here is just a longer-term trend that is just bullish. You had a 2 high-end side candle develop. You're seeing a continuation breakout. And what you're seeing that continuation breakout on is on the weekly chart, where you see that as consolidation. You break out of that consolidation. You see that as a catalyst for another leg in the market. And so if you think about this from an Elliott wave perspective, for example, I don't know how many of you are Elliott wave technicians. I love looking at at trending analysis through an Elliott wave lens. I love utilizing Fibonacci retracements from a pullback perspective. But when you're looking at Elliott wave is all about wave counting. Where are you at within the larger construct of the trend? Well, if you have the last breakout on the monthly chart as the beginning point of the trend, what you have is wave 1, then you have wave 2, and now you're starting what's called wave 3. And wave 3 is typically the longest duration and overall price performance within the backdrop of a trend itself. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to Fibonacci analysis, they assume that every wave up has to have a corrective wave down to officially be a wave in the wave counting of Elliott wave. That's not entirely accurate. It's certainly accurate in many regards, but it's not entirely accurate given the fact that time consolidation can act as a wave. For example, when we study charts, we're not just studying price, we're studying price over time. Consolidation can act as a correction. And you can see that very clearly when you look at RSI, for example. You look at RSI is going down, alleviating the extension inside the pattern. RSI is coming down. So price didn't come down, but RSI came down, alleviating the extension. Consolidation acts as a correction in Elliott wave. Now, it can't happen both in wave 2 and wave 4, but it certainly can happen in wave 2. So if wave 2 is consolidation, for example, you would expect a pullback in wave 4. If wave 4 is a pullback, you would expect a consolidation in wave 4. But regardless of the correction waves, what we're looking at the beginning point of this candle right here is the beginning point of a new wave. And so you're seeing the backdrop, and this is why, and you see the confirmation on RSI as well. You could argue, well, Matt, that's divergence. And you're right. There's always divergence within the backdrop of continuation pattern analysis. That's what's alleviating the overextension. But now you see RSI getting back up above this trend line on the breakout. That confirms the move. And so in the larger big picture conversation, we're talking about the continuation of the monthly chart in wave 1. You're talking about the beginning point of wave 3 in the weekly chart. And then when you come into the daily chart, you see how the market is behaving from a short-term perspective. And so now that we have an understanding of the long term, continuation wave 1 on the monthly, starting point wave 3 on the weekly, well, guess what this would be on the daily? The daily chart would be wave 1. And so we're starting a new trend. It's undeniable. You can't argue that point that we are seeing the beginnings, the early technical beginnings of a new bullish uptrend. And how do I know that? Well, I think everybody knows it. This is a higher level of resistance than that level of resistance, which means we have the higher high. So what are we trading in when we look at the intraday? We're trading a pullback against the larger term time frames. And so when you come back down into the hourly chart, what's the market starting to do? It's starting to pull back. And so where's my head? My head is trading the pullback right now. And so I have the daily chart pulling back just because we had a really good bullish move initially. We're seeing the daily chart pull back. And as such, where's the edge right now? In my opinion, the edge is still to the downside because what we're trading in the backdrop is we're just trading this pullback. And so the question ultimately is, where can a pullback come down into? Well, first and foremost, the pullback levels, there's always going to be 3 levels in a pullback every time. Every time you navigate, I don't care if it's a monthly chart, weekly chart, daily chart, 5-minute chart, tick chart, I don't care. Whenever you're navigating a bullish retracement, there's always going to be multiple levels that you track to where that support is going to be built, ladies and gentlemen. And so where's that right now? We're dealing with what's called a flag-based pattern right now. What's up, Sand? It's good to see you. Ricky, I'm glad to see a fellow Elliott Wave technician. I don't want to say we're the dinosaurs. Not at all. It's my goal to bring back a little bit of wave counting to the community here. But it's certainly good to see another technician who enjoys some Elliott wave analysis as well. But when you're looking at the pullback, once again, and I've talked about this in many technical labs before, whenever you deal with pullbacks, there's always going to be those 3 levels. And I want you to think about Goldilocks here. Everybody knows the Goldilocks story. Team, let me know in chat, just a yes or a no, if you're familiar with Goldilocks. Because if you're not, I doubt you want me to tell you the Goldilocks story here. But if you recall, Goldilocks went into the house, and there were 3 bowls of porridge there. One was too hot, one was too cold, one was just right. There were three chairs. One was too hot, one was too cold, one was just right. When Goldilocks was on the bed, there was one was too firm, one was too soft, one was just right. When you're dealing with pullbacks, those same conversations occur. You have the you have shallow, you have standard, and you have deep. And so you have these three levels that you track ultimately to where that daily chart can pull back to. And as that daily chart pulls back until we see an official pivot, you're going to be trading in the larger construct of that pullback. Now, there's going to be bullish trades in a pullback, obviously. As we navigate 5-minute charts, obviously, there's going to be bearish trades in a pullback. But the larger construct is we are pulling back after that sizable move to the top side. And so when we do think about those three levels, I want you to think about it in terms of shallow, standard, deep. Shallow pullback. So if like, for example, if we pull up our Fibonacci retracement series and we just draw kind of candle to candle high here. Now, the first level that you kind of track is a combination level. Number one, and we're talking about the pullback on the daily chart here. So the first level that you track in that pullback is the flag level, the momentum level, the shallow pullback. And that's right here at a 23% level, which just so happens to be the 7,700 level. And so the 7,700 level, and you can do this exact same thing on the NQ, you can do this exact same thing on the Dow Jones, you can do this exact same thing on the Russell 2000. It's just that my focus is on the ES typically, and so that's why I'm doing it on the ES. But that 23% pullback is the shallow pullback. That's where you typically see a little meat in the middle with the 9 EMA catching up. But that 23% level just so happens to be right at a significant whole number. And in futures, especially around the ES and the NQ, obviously these significant whole numbers play. And so 7,700 is going to be a target level for any buyers that want to step back in on the daily chart. Because as a swing trader, guys, I love the price action. I'm not being aggressive as a swing trader today. I'm going to be aggressive as a swing trader once I get my flag-based pattern here. And so as a swing trader, I'm not stepping in to support the price yet. As a swing trader, I'm waiting for a pivot down here around 77. I'm waiting for a pivot down here around 38, which just so happens to be 76. What's that 38% retracement right now? 76.30. And that just so happens to coincide with the previous breakout channel. And so the two major levels in the pullback as we do navigate this pullback, it could be 2 days, could be 3 days, could be 4 days. But right now, we're not even dealing with the shallow pullback. We're just dealing with hesitation in the market. That shallow pullback comes down into 7,700. That shallow pullback becomes a target for day traders. The standard pullback down to 76.30, which equates to the previous breakout channel, that's going to be a major level for day traders because as swing traders go, I'm going to tell you something as a core swing trader, because I like to do them both, day trading and swing trading. But as a core swing trader, I'm going to wait on these pullback levels to see the buyers step in at those levels. I'm not fighting aggressively up here. And so as we look for these pullback levels, they become targets for day traders as well. And so 7,700, a very important one. The rising 9 EMA on the daily chart is going to be a very important pullback zone. And then the previous breakout channel, which is known as the pop zone. So 76.30 would be what's called the pop zone. It is that principal polarity where old resistance now becomes a new support level. And so now that we have that understanding of the overall environment, let's come into the lower time frames to look at where the edges are as of right this very second. So when you're looking at the market right now, we're definitely dealing with some downward drift and a little bit of a retracement against that previous breakdown that is coming to retest these very important old support, new resistance levels. And so you're currently at a resistance level on the 1 hour time frame. We come into the 15-minute time frame, and you can really kind of see that battle zone right here. Look at this level right here. And let's just draw a level that's right around VWAP. So as the market's coming in, you see VWAP right here. You see that old support zone acting as new resistance right around the 47 level. And this is really choppy. Now, this to me would be a pretty important test for a potential trade if it wasn't for the double bottom here. Because you have a double bottom at 27, I don't think you can look at this as just a pure retracement. But what this level is, and this is kind of the topic I really kind of want to discuss here for just a moment or two. What this level is, it's what I affectionately call the bear stop out level. Because what you have is a bearish trend that is testing resistance. But like I was talking about in that depth of that pullback, you have shallow pullbacks, standard pullbacks, deeper pullbacks. But there is always a level there that I call bear stop out. And that level is the level that the Bears are going to fight for. And the Bears are going to fight for this level because if they don't win that fight, then the Bulls take charge. That's what this level is. As the market is pulling back here, you see this big battle right here at the 47 level because it's the old support level. It's the VWAP right there. That level, if breached, the Bears stop fighting at all. Because think about it like this. If you're a bear and you're saying, okay, I'm thinking about this as a bear, well, where are you going to put a stop loss if you're looking at trading this as a bear? You're going to put a stop loss above this level. You got wicks everywhere right here. You got VWAP right there. You want to get that stop loss above resistance. And so if it breaks out of resistance, your thesis on the bear side of the equation is now null and void. You no longer are correct on your assessment of the technical condition, and you want to get stopped out. That's why you put a stop loss above that level, is so that you do get stopped out when you're proven wrong. Well, it's not just you that is looking at that level. See, every one of us have all of our levels. You might have some different levels. I might have some different levels, but every one of us are looking at this level. Anyone that's trading on the ES right now is looking at that 47 level saying, okay, what's going to happen at 47? Not everyone in their dog was looking at the 740 level. Not everybody in their dog was looking at the 30 level, but everybody's looking at the 47 level because that is the bear stop out level. That's where it goes from bearish to now neutral. That's where the trend shifts from being bearish to now neutral, which means you are no longer bearish on that 15-minute time frame, that 5-minute time frame, that 1 hour time frame. Because when you're looking at the overall hourly chart, for example, and let's just kind of scale in here. Well, if the hourly chart gets above this level, I wouldn't call that bearish any longer. And so if the hourly chart, if the 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart, if those charts get above 47, you're no longer bearish on that hourly chart, which also means you're no longer pulling back. On the daily chart, you're more consolidating, more of a high base type situation. And so that's where this level becomes really, really important, because it's not just another level. It's the level we're trying to understand the context of the market pulling back. And so far in that market pullback, the hourly chart, which started right here, hasn't had a level of resistance that's been higher. It's had a lower low now. It's had a lower low, but it's always kind of lower low, consolidate, lower low, consolidate, lower low, consolidate. And so if you break back up here, it's a shift in pattern. And when you're a pattern trader, those things stand out. And so traders right now are picking up their battle weapon of choice, and they're looking at this level and they're saying, okay, now what do we need to see here? As a bull, I would love to see a high base and a break back up because this is a battle zone level. This is the bear stop out level. Bears, bulls, they're all fighting for this. If bulls get above it, they got an edge to push it back up into the high of the day. If bears hold firm, it drives back down into the 28 level. And so you're looking at a little bit of a battle here. That's one of the reasons why you got a pretty big little wide ranging doji here on the previous candle. And now you're looking at the current candle kind of testing that same level. And so this is a level where you expect a pattern to develop here. You don't have that same opinion on every single level. And so it's just a matter of letting this play out. Now, for me, I know other traders are going to be shorting this level just to try to maximize their return to risk. And I have no criticism to say on that. But for me, I need to see a pattern here. I would love to see a pattern here because for a couple reasons. Number one, the market's already moved up 6-7 candles. And how many times do we see that continue without some degree of secondary development? Right? You look at this move here to the downside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles, and then a bunch of chop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles. What can you expect? Do you really expect it just to run? It has the ability. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's a bad expectation to think that a market's going to move 7 candles into resistance and then just break out of resistance that is such an important zone without some degree of hesitation there. That some degree of hesitation, team, that's what the pattern is. Is it a high base here where we see simple consolidation? If I'm going to enter a bearish trade here, I would love to see that consolidation up here with that 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart catching up to probably 43. Do nothing here, and let's get into a K trade scenario here. And so market's pushing up into resistance. Market's now trying to consolidate here, putting in a little bit of a battle. Not surprised we're seeing some red candle here. Again, slight extension, pattern develops. And so for me, I'm not, and I've said this many, many, many times in these streams from a technical perspective, but as a day trader, I need 2 things to make a trade. Number one, I need an opinion at a level. I need the market at a level that I have an opinion on. I have an opinion at the 47, 48 level. Okay. Now, and that opinion can work as resistance, can work as a breakout. I have an opinion at the level. Who wins the level? That's going to be important to me. Number 2, so we're at the level. Okay, we've met number 1. Now, for some traders, that's enough. For some traders are like, let me just get as close to 48 as possible, enter in a short, put a stop loss above VWAP, take a small risk trade. I don't mind that. Don't hate it. Don't have anything negative to say about it. I'm not going to do it because I don't have a probable edge. And that's the second part that is extremely important to me is I have to see a winner declared here. Either one, because I kind of got this as a K trade setup right now where base consolidation, break back up above VWAP will be a bull trade. Base consolidation, break underneath the 9 EMA would be a bear trade. That's my opinion at the level. Who wins that battle? I don't know yet. I just know there's going to be a battle and that this thing can't go on that long because this 5-minute 9 EMA is going to catch up really tight against the price. And that either one is going to break underneath the 9 or it's going to break out. That's also what we affectionately refer to as a pinch. When you're pinching between 2 duration of moving averages, VWAP is certainly a moving average. When you're pinching between the 2, one's got to win one way or the other. So this is just a matter of us watching this play out here to see which one do we get. Do we get that consolidation break up? Do we get that consolidation break back down? I don't think there is a current edge in the market as of right this very second. I'd like to see how it plays with VWAP. So a couple takeaways here from the technical conversation. And then we're going to basically watch the market and navigate the price action the rest of the lab here. But a couple points. Number one, not every level is created equal. 9 EMA, for example, is more important than the 20 SMA. The 9 EMA is more important than any moving average for me on the day trading side of the equation. VWAP is going to be more important, in my opinion, than the orb levels. The daily highs, the daily lows are going to be more important than a pivot within the intraday side of the equation. But that bear stop out level, where the trend officially changes, where the bears no longer have an edge, that is a very important level. And when that level is also coupled with other support or resistance catalyst, that becomes even stronger. By the way, that's what we affectionately refer to as stacking resistance, where at the same level, there's multiple levels of resistance there. Number one, you have bear stop out, which is an old resistance level at the 47 level. Number two, you got VWAP at the 48 level. That's a stacking of resistance that can be very difficult to break. Think about stacking support or stacking resistance like you're a ninja and you're breaking a bunch of boards. Well, if you have one board, a little bit easy to break. You have two boards, a little bit more difficult. When you have three, a little bit more difficult. There's two levels of support, right? Two levels of resistance right there. Tough to break. Tough to break. Want to see that play out first. And so bear stop out levels are the levels where Hosters, this recording, everything on YouTube, I believe, is recording. I believe. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Hold on. I was a little bit long on. There we go. Now I'm caught up. Give me 1 second, team. There we go. So yes, Hoster, this is recorded. And guys, please, it's live. Yes. No, I am live, but yes, it's also being recorded. Okay. Ford, I always got to be very careful about saying your name because you've got me a couple different times and almost got me banned on YouTube, my friend. No, I'm kidding. I totally kid on that. But why am I not on MSNBC? Because I don't like just to be a talking head and just spill filth that supports the banks. That's why. That's why. I don't just want to always have to say Goldman Sachs is amazing. That's why. I like to prefer saying this company is a terrible company because they had a terrible earnings report, and I like just giving unfiltered commentary. That's why. When you work for somebody like that, you can't give your real opinions the same way that I can give my real opinions when I'm hanging out with BluSky, Mike in the morning, Coach Becky, and so on and so forth. Right? I know, Ford. I took it as a compliment, my friends. I did. I took it as a compliment. But in terms of the analysis, again, yes, we are live. Yes, I am a live human person, Oster. We're not there with AI yet. Specifically with Kramer, because we're gonna watch this pattern play out real quick. But specifically with Kramer, like I don't know if you guys have known this, but Kramer has a really bad track record. And it's not because his analysis is terrible. It's because hedge funds like to short any pick he ever makes. And so there's a contrarian algorithm basically on Kramer picks. But the older I get, when I was younger, I was a little bit more critical of Kramer. Now he does this thing. He pumps a little too much, in my opinion. He's too much of a permabull constantly. He certainly has agreements with certain companies, but I don't hate on Kramer as much as I once did. I do think Wall Street likes to punish him with algorithms, and he does have a bad track record. But I do think there's more than meets the eye on that one. But no, I am not looking to apply for Kramer's job at Mad Money when he does officially retire. They would have to change the name and put me on YouTube so I don't have to, so I can say what I want, basically. But yeah, so coming back to here, guys, what's your opinion here? Should I look at more of a short in the pattern, or should I look at more of a long based on the totality of the conversation we just had? would you be looking more bullish and a breakout, or would you be looking to trade this to the downside? And I want to hear from you, and then I'll give you my response. So you tell me, based on this level, would you prefer taking a short or would you prefer taking a long? And I'm going to watch this play out. Look at that test against the 9. Let's get that real tight there. 5-minute aggressive day trade. 5-minute structure, level to level analysis. It would look to be in a trade short term. So we got so Jaja, you're like, I'd rather take the long if it presents itself. Okay. If you were going to front run VWAP, Jaja, like if you were going to front run the breakout, this is the pattern right here. Like if you're looking at a front run partial entry going into the breakout, because you don't have an edge here. As a bull, and I'm a bull, but as a bull, you don't have an edge yet. And so you have an edge when it breaks out of resistance. So anything you do here, you would be looking to maximize your entry, maximize your return versus risk. You can put an entry above the high of this candle, stop underneath the low of the last candle, and you could front run that. I'm not going to do that, but that's what you could do. If I want to see the bulls prove it. Like I want to see the market get above VWAP. And so I'm letting this play out. But if I had a bull thesis, I would think about front running this with an entry above the candle high, stop underneath the low, and then this becomes a T1 scale out. Well, I can put the trade on here. I'm just not going to do it because it's not me. But I'm telling you, that's what you could do if you were thinking about maximizing your return. I'm not thinking about maximizing my return. I'm thinking about it's got to prove it out a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially given the little bit of the lack of momentum here. Like there's not a whole lot of momentum today. And so if we were in a little bit more of a momentum condition, I'd be a little bit more aggressive here because I don't mind the pullback going into VWAP. Like it looks actually fairly technically good here. I just not going to do it because I want to see it get above VWAP first. When you get above VWAP, you're breaking out of that bear stop out level. And so I have a very strong opinion on that bear stop out level. I want to see it behave there first. And I'm not looking to be a hero inside some lack of momentum environment to a certain extent. But I do really appreciate the peer pressure there, Jaja. I really appreciate that peer pressure. Matt, just go do it. Come on, go do it. No, I want to let it play out here. Let's see. I see you. There's like 5 of you like to trigger me every now and then. Yeah, I think the NQ looks kind of garbage today, personally, John. Let's see what else. Alex. So Ford, you would be looking at long. Okay. See how you're testing underneath the 9 EMA now? A little bit weak there. Ford, you'd be looking long. Let's see, long but nice, but I'm personally leaning short until it gets above VWAP. Like I'm personally leaning short until it gets above VWAP. But I also don't feel like I need to maximize anything. Like I feel there could be a really good trade in power hour if we ever break the 27 level, because that would go to 7,700. But if I had to pick right now, I would take the short underneath the low. I would just take that short underneath the low right now, and then basically play the bar. That's how I would do it with the T1 target down to the low price there. And so once you're back underneath that 9 EMA, that now has an edge back down to the downside. See, I don't like to have strong opinions between two catalysts. I like to see it kind of emerge. Don't get me wrong. Like, and for the veterans out there of BluSky, you know this about me. I use more stop orders to get into trades, but you guys would be proud of me. Jaja, Ace, Becky, you would be very proud of me today. In fact, my first trade of the day, I actually did it with the limit order. You see this, when the market was breaking down right here, I felt I was chasing, and so I just put a limit order up here around the 9 EMA. You had been so proud of me, Market Mama. I put a limit order right at the 9 EMA up here. When it whipsawed, it ticked me in, and I carried it down to the 26. And so I was like, the very second I did that, I was like, Becky and Justin would be so proud of me right now. Oh yeah, limit to win it, baby. Limit to win it, and that's how I felt about that first trade. This one I did more with the entry that I typically do. You as you're trying to catch that momentum to the downside, and so that's just kind of what I did here. Again, I don't have a strong opinion on this one. Like, I don't have a strong opinion inside this range. I'll have a more strong opinion if we break out a VWAP looking on the top side. I just feel like as of right this very second, we have an edge to get back down into the low here. And if we do breach this low, like I was saying, the pullback zone down around that 7,700 zone on that, what was it? The 23% pullback on the daily chart was right at 7,700. And so if this does work out and we get that move to the downside here and we get down to say 26, 27 on the ES, at that point, you have a really good situation going into the close. That's an if A then B scenario. This thing's still battling support a little bit. It just, to me, I was ready to go once a winner was declared. And that winner was declared either through a breakback above VWAP or to a confirmation close underneath the 9 EMA. And so I got my trigger. I put my stop loss, just basically played the bar because I don't have a lot of confidence in the setup. So I just played the bar. But I won't scale out until I get down to here. And then I'll probably leave a partial and adjust the target all the way down. So we'll have to watch this one play out a little bit. By the way, I want to describe today's trading environment as an A+ trading environment. I feel like we're dealing with just a little bit of bear flag analysis against the daily chart, a little bit loss of momentum, but still some pretty decent intraday ranges as we watch this one play out a little bit. Let's see if I buy gains. What if I buy a 50K account for $29 clear means what next? Have to pay extra for the next stage. Gains, I don't know the answer to that question off the top of my head, but I'll see if I can get Nick or Market Mamas or Justin to get you some help. Okay. So Justin, Becky, Nick, Gaines got a question regarding a launch plan. Get that done there, Gaines, so that you can take that trade with me underneath that 26 level. Let's get this going. Now, the question I initially have, team, whenever I make a trade, and I think you guys are the exact same. When do you start trailing stop loss? Okay. Stop loss management. And I love how Mike says it. You shouldn't be thinking about stop loss, stop gain management. Because that's honestly the decision I'm trying to make. When do I adjust to this break even? When can I get that down to my break even cost? When do you guys start adjusting? Like, you tell me, team, when do you start adjusting the stop loss to the break even trade? When I do it, it's with the 9 EMA. So once the 9 EMA, and you can kind of see that kind of conversion here, you see how the top of the candle here is converging with the 9 EMA. Once that 9 EMA gets down to my break even, I don't always do it, but I can start adjusting. But I can't adjust until the 9 EMA supports my analysis because I anchor on the 9 EMA quite a bit when it comes to like level to level analysis. And so I can't adjust yet, but if I get one more expansion candle down, I can. And so that's my rule is when the 9 EMA supports, when I can adjust that stop loss to break even and I still have the 9 EMA to support me, that's my go-to, get it to a break even. And then I can kick my feet up and I could care less what happens because I don't get too caught up in profiting. like in profit targeting. Like I feel like if we manage that stop loss the right way, the target's going to take care of itself. And so I don't do a lot of target management. Target is what the target is. And so what I'm looking at here, what I hope honestly is we don't get that back up above the 90 MA, because if the price stays underneath the 90 MA and we got about 1 minute left in this candle, we're going to shift that down a little bit, and then I can most likely start adjusting. But I'll probably need one more candle down before I can officially start adjusting here. John, I agree with longs because 505 is strong level unless we break. I'm assuming you're talking about the NASDAQ. I'll go take a look at that, John. Like I think you could still make arguments here. I think we have an edge down to, maybe 30-27 here. But like we're trading in some degree of neutrality on the 5-minute chart right now. So this is just basically resistance hold, got rejected, back down to support. It's really not anything more than that. And so like there's not a massive probable edge here, but you can now start adjusting if you want. See that get a little froggy. See, this is what I hate. Like, give me that extension. Yeah, battle that 9 though. Just wants it. Don't do it. I'm not gonna adjust. If I take an L, I take the L. Still green on the day though. Like if I would adjust it, I would have got stopped out already at a break even, blah, blah, blah. But gotta be willing to take an L. Gotta be willing to take an L. I asked the question for a reason. I was not trying to like say, hey, my thesis is right. Like I feel it's a debate. Like I don't feel like the trend right now is dominant on one side or the other. I feel like I'll be a lot more confident in the bull thesis here if I get stopped out. I'll tell you that right now, because that would now be a confirmed increase in support against the backdrop of that neutrality. And that would be putting on an edge. That would actually have an edge going back up into that resistance test. And so, like, yeah, if I do get stopped out, I'd be more interested in that breakout of VWAP, but we could both be stopped out here. If you get stopped out, we'll wait to see that. Well, Rudy, what's up? How you doing, Rudy? It's good to have you here, my friend. We're in a me and we're in a counter trend trade here. Jaja went long, I went short, and we're gonna see who wins. Whoever wins here is officially declared the winner of the day. I don't care whatever you did the rest of the day. Whoever wins this trade setup between Jaja and me is declared the official Royal Rumble King of BluSky for the day. Justin will get us a hat. That's right. BluSky Royal Rumble winner, Jaja or Coach Matt. We'll have to wait to see this one play out. With me saying that, yeah, we're definitely both getting stopped out, bro. Yeah. Oh, me and Becky almost got stopped out when we did our when she had the long and I had the short going into imbalances the other day. We almost got stopped out on the volatility of imbalances. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Rudy, can we all give Rudy some love here, team? Everybody, come on. Let's cheer on the team. We always got to support one another, everybody. Rudy just passed the first 200K static launch. Absolutely awesome, Rudy. Everybody give him some love, please. Show the team. See, that's what a community is all about, guys. It's cheering on other success because success breeds other success. We're all a collection of who we surround ourselves with. Rudy, you just passed. You're on our team because you're amazing, my friend. Very happy for you. And yes, it does still apply. We'll talk about the consistency. Coach Becky's much better on the consistency factor. She'll give you a couple suggestions there, Rudy. I'll have Coach Becky on the stream here in about 10-15 minutes from now, and we'll have that conversation then. But very proud of you, Rudy. That's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You probably didn't do it on this trade me and Jaws yelling at each other about. And if you did, you're gonna have consistency issues because there's no momentum here yet. No, I assumed you didn't, my friend. This is a meandering one, but that's awesome. That's awesome. Very happy for you, Rudy. Very happy. I just get so excited when other traders achieve the things that they're setting out to do because this game is not easy. It's not. It takes dedication, effort, study. It takes getting your face like the old Mike Tyson quote, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. I'm going to go be an amazing trader until the market teaches you valuable lessons. You passed, you did something great. That's fantastic. We should always celebrate those key moments because those key moments, Rudy, are going to happen more and more and more and more. And that's just an absolutely fantastic thing. Very proud of you. Happy for you. Now let's do let's get more blue sky traders to do the exact same thing here, team. You know, Jaja, you went against me on this, which means we're dealing with chop. Jaja, if you would have joined me, we would already be down at 28. I'm kidding. Slightly. Oh. Well, now I can't yell at you. That's not even going against me. Kind of, but not really. Let's look at the NASDAQ for a second. MNQ. Yeah, I don't have an opinion. Choppy, inconsistent. Let's look at gold for a second. Ooh. Ooh, I don't mind that level right there on old Goldie. I had a student of mine that I'm teaching how to day trade that was trading the ES, and they're like, "Well, I'll just go trade gold tonight." And I'm like, "So this your first trade on gold?" And he says, "Yeah, it's my first trade on gold." And I said, "So you're gonna go on your first trade on gold, take the exact same position size on gold that you would the ES?" They're like, "Yeah, it's the same." And I'm like, no, it's really not. You would take twice as much risk on that one. But I do like that gold setup. Yes, vodka. I am currently in a very, 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 very aggressive short here. No, I'm not. Yes, I am in a short, but it's my second short of the day. I haven't traded a bullish trade in the last 2 days. I think I'm now officially a perma bear. My goodness. It should also tell you my mindset on the pullback against the daily time frame. I've been trying to capture honestly, I've been trying to capture that downward pressure in price during the pullback. Um, so far, very mixed results. Yesterday, I took my first two trades and basically took an L. Didn't do much that day. Today, I'm basically 1-0. I took a short earlier in the day, and now this is my second short of the day. Yeah, we were talking right here, vodka, how like the market was kind of coming into resistance and it was battling here. And I basically on this candle here, I was like, I don't really have a strong opinion here. But if it develops, breaks back up, I'll think bullish. If it breaks back down, meaning get underneath the 9 EMA, I'll take bearish. I ultimately did do the bear trade, but 15 minutes later, we've basically been staring at nothing so far, other than an interesting conversation on when to adjust stop loss, which I have not done as of right this very second. Do, 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 do. Uh, I trade them both, vodka. I do most on ES, obviously. I'm an ES boring trader, but I do prefer the ES most of the time because I put a lot of emphasis on top-down analysis, so I do a lot of sector analysis, I do a lot of cross-sector analysis, so I already have a really deep understanding of the ES components, and so it just makes sense for me to trade the ES because I do a lot of sector top-down analysis type stuff, and so the ES just makes a lot of sense for me to do because those are all the components I focus on every day, but if it typically what I'll do is I'll spot check the NASDAQ, and if I prefer the NASDAQ that day, I'll stick on the NASDAQ. But typically I do trade the ES. ES is just a mini edition of the NQ. Um, Even though the ES has 11 sectors in it, 110 different industry groups in it, um, the NASDAQ doesn't have that. It's got 100 stocks and it's obviously very, very sensitive on Mag 7 and technology and AI and all that. But because of the weighting criteria of the ES reflects the NQ far more than it reflects anything else. And so it's just a mini edition of that, a little bit less volatility. Those stinky memory companies, they didn't give us that gap and run today. No, WDC down, SanDisk down as well. And it was honestly interesting because I'm just looking up. I was studying their earnings reports earlier today. Both companies had wonderful earnings. SanDisk had an 18% beat. Think about SanDisk revenue handle for a second. They had an increase in revenue of 371% year over year. Like absolutely mind-boggling resistance handle year over year. Um, the only problem with SanDisk is you're talking about a growth stock that had a mixed guidance report, and whenever you have mixed guidance, path of least resistance is down. But I don't see an aggressive move right now on SanDisk. WDC, I actually thought WDC had a really good report. WDC came in with a 7% beat, 43% year over year growth, but it was really their guidance. They guided 6.1% above 6.1% above expectation. So they pulled off what I call the hat trick when you beat on EPS, beat on revenue, and then increase forward looking guidance. That's kind of that hat trick treatment. So I thought both of them had pretty decent earnings, honestly. But I'll just tell you what I'm waiting on specifically on those because I want to get some memory. Like I don't have any memory out there from a longer term side of the equation, and so, like, when you're looking at where's my memory stocks? All the different types of memory, right? Micron's kind of the linchpin of everything. Um, don't hate the analysis on Micron right now, but don't love it. SanDisk just reported earnings. You know how I was talking about bear stop out analysis vodka? Look at this trend. You break out of 1400 here, that looks pretty good, honestly. Like, that looks pretty good. Don't get me started on gold today. I love the breakout on gold from 2 days ago. Like, absolutely love it. I've already had to roll up covered calls on GDX and on KGC. So I'm obviously loving the gold breakout here. But SanDisk here, I kind of feel like 14, maybe this pivot at 1450, like just kind of work there, break back up. And then when you look at that on a weekly time frame, that would also be getting above the weekly 9, especially if it's, like, by the end of the week. That would be a good look for that would be the best look SanDisk has had in ever since the pullback started, I would say. And so, their earnings report notwithstanding, I felt like they had a pretty decent earnings report. The gap down notwithstanding, I think was just kind of it was SanDisk, and as you can see right here, 39.25. That was a beat on EPS. That was a 20% beat on EPS. And guess what happened, vodka? The market sold that. And when you see the market sell on the release of the EPS number, which is a beat, that means that traders, investors, Wall Street was going to sell SanDisk on the release of the report, regardless of what the numbers meant. And so so a lot of times when we look at the overall performance of earnings, people will just look at, oh, SanDisk is down 5%, down $70 today. Oh, it must have been a negative report. SanDisk down $70 is an intraday move, and most of the damage was done on the release of the EPS number, which means a hedge fund, an institution had made a decision to use the earnings environment, which is massive liquidity, to liquidate their position. And so it's just one of those things where you see these telltale signs every now and then where you see that just sell on the release of the EPS. I'll tell you right now, markets don't sell 20% beats on EPS without a decision that is made before the EPS was released. And you see this a lot in earnings analysis where an institution, you don't know which institution, but an institution has already decided to sell SanDisk upon the release of the report. And you really have that opinion when a 20% beat against EPS expectation and the market initially is down. That has nothing to do with the earnings environment. That has nothing to do with the market itself, and that has absolutely everything to do with just an institution wanting to use the massive liquidity environment. But you know what else occurred? Right when the cash opened, market started buying. And so you also had a scenario where once when the market opened up, you didn't see any further sell down behavior. And so what this is affectionately referred to is a gap down, gobble up. You don't see anything further to the downside than upon the release of the EPS analysis itself. That's usually a telltale sign. So you might say, well, Matt, why don't you just buy it today? Because I'm not going to buy it underneath the 90 EMA, and I'm not going to buy it underneath the trend line, and I'm not going to buy it underneath weekly confirmation. That's the importance of the 1450 level. That's the importance of that weekly level confirmation. And so I think SanDisk is honestly in a fairly interesting technical situation. I thought WDC had a net better report than SanDisk did. But WDC's got a little work to put in. And then when you look at the release of their EPS, you see the exact same thing here. EPS comes out, EPS is released, sell upon the EPS, questions later. This was going to happen regardless of anything that they said in earnings, anything they said in earnings. And so absolutely, this was kind of an expectation. You can't have the expectation that this is going to occur in front of earnings. But when you read earnings and you're trying to understand the context of that gap down, there was no sell down treatment there either. And so very, very, very important. And yes, I just got stopped out as I was talking about all the things quality about SanDisk's level. And with that said, I got Coach Becky up here today. Becky, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, I am awesome. How is everyone today? Welcome to Power Hour proper. I thoroughly enjoyed this last hour, though, talking about the price action and all the different ways that it can set up for us and different ways to view it. So you are on fire, Matt.
Well, we're currently at the exact same price that we started the lap at. Like
I mean,
literally,
the price action is not the cutest.
The exact same. It's like, okay, what happened? We had some good conversations.
Yeah,
Not a lot of movement here.
What's up?
Not a lot of movement. Hey, got a couple questions for you. While we look for it, I believe it was
Rudy. We're celebrating Rudy.
Oh yeah, Rudy passed the 200K eval. That's awesome. That's awesome. Also, Gaines it basically had a question, and I want to see if you have a better response than I do.
Okay. Remind me what they were, because I was like getting ready.
Yeah, the question is basically, I'm new to BluSky. You guys are amazing. You're the best community in the history of prop communities. I really like all of your content. I really like everything on your website. I want to be a part of this long term. And I thought that was like, that is a really impressive way to ask what plan to get. So I really appreciate the question with all that detail there, Gaines. But at the end of the day, Gaines' question was, what plan should they start with? Should they start with the 50K orbit plan? Should they start with 200K static? If you were just recommending to a new trader to BluSky, what would you recommend they just start with?
Okay, yes. So if you are a newer trader, the larger plans were like 200K, 300K have a lot. You have to earn quite a bit to pass them. Like the 200K static orbit is 8,000 to pass. And so if you are newer, sometimes a smaller numbers are a little bit more easy for our brain to wrap around. And so the 50K is oftentimes where I would encourage you to start for your first couple months into trading at a minimum. And so the launch is really good because that's a 2-day pass. It's affordable if you're newer to trading. Especially we've got some coupon codes as well here for new traders, the 50 off and then 30 off if you're returning. But that one you only have to make 3,000 and it's 2,000 drawdown. So that ratio is really nice. It's the most forgiving out of all of the accounts. And then there's the 50% consistency. So that just means one day you can't go over 1,500 in profits with a, like 1% margin or something. So that one I feel like is the most reasonable for a newer trader to pass. And then you have to build a little buffer once you do pass. 50K launch. It's great. I think that's the gold standard for starting. And then once you get deeper into it, you can do the 1-day pass is the orbit. That way you can hit your profit goal just on day one. And so you pay a little bit more for that. But then there's no buffer stage and you can pass it in 1 day. But then you do have some consistency once you get that account. So are you in an account yet or not yet?
I think they were just found.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like I said, they saw us
Yeah,
and they're like, you guys are the best in the history of this
Yeah.
business. And
I
so
like that. Yeah, 50K launch is legit because it's got a good ratio for reward to risk. You get the 2,000 is generous and 3,000 to earn is reasonable with micros. The fee is the most affordable out there, so you can get your feet wet and get used to prop industry with the most affordable plans. And then you can go into the little more expensive ones that have perks. You pay more because there's perks to them, right? It's either 1 day to pass or a bigger ratio or, straight to funded is instant funding costs more, but that's because there's no buffer phase and everything you make, you get to withdraw from. So there's bonuses to the slightly more expensive plans that you pay for. But to start, definitely the launch 50K. It's a great question.
So Gaines, thank you for that question. And it seems like all of us come to if you're brand new, you're here for the first time, you've never done it before, dip your toe in a little bit. 50K is easiest to kind of start with. I saw Vodka and Quicksand had the exact same recommendation as well. Great question, great conversation. Appreciate that. Now, I thought we had one more question. Oh, there was another question I thought that a couple days ago you gave great advice on, and it was the consistency rule. Can you just explain why we watch this pattern play out a little bit, what the consistency rule is, and how to kind of navigate that?
Yeah, basically, I would embrace it if you are trading a plan with consistency, which most of them do, because the whole point of it is to encourage you to be a strong, steady trader and not go for home runs that are like almost gambling Hail Mary type trades, but instead aim for reasonable gains every day and then contain your losses so your accounts can grow. And so some of them have 50% consistency rules, such as the launch 50K is the 50% consistency. And then once you get into the plan, some are 33 or 40%. Those are the consistencies that we see as rules at BluSky. But the 50%, we'll start with that one because that's how you get funded, means that you can't pass that account in 1 day. You have to pass it in 2. So the fastest you can pass it is each day you make 1,500. When I am trading a new launch plan, I'll put a daily profit loss limit. I'm saying that wrong. Daily profit target. Anyways, at 1,550, that way it will get me filled. I'm going to say this right. Personal daily profit target. I'm sorry, I couldn't get my words out there, but you can set that as a lockout. So say if you are in a banger trade and it's just flying, you're like, this is the best day of my whole life. Set that ahead of time and you don't even have to think about it, because then you can set it for 1,540 or what have you. And that way, if your profits fly, there's a Trump candle, something shoots, it will lock you out. It will shut down the trade. It will auto liquidate the trade as if, maybe you've failed. Maybe you've noticed that if it's gone the wrong way, but it'll basically shut down your trade when you hit that limit. Similar with the daily loss limit. You can program those at the same risk setting location within your platform, such as Tradesy. So that's the consistency. Basically, if you're aiming for 3K, then you want to make just over 15 and you'll pass it in 2 days. Now, once you're building up your buffer, which is what happens after you pass that 3K for your launch, for example, then you want to shoot for 33 to, so say we're talking about the launch 50K, right? It's 33% consistency. So you want to slow your roll a little bit and aim for good trading, not just gambling Hail Marys. So you want to earn about 1,000 a day. So in that case, when you progress to the next phase where you're building your buffer, go into your settings and change it to $1,020. And that way, if you're in a banger trade, you want it to lock you out and kick you out, because there's no point in making more on that account than that, because then you'll just mess up your consistency. So the path to funding the quickest is to honor those consistency rules every trading day. And then once you get past that, then you have more freedom to make more gains. Now, if you find that you're just really in sync with the day, and maybe you take that trade and really quickly you hit that, this is where you want to, if you want to trade again, don't trade that count again, get another one, or take the day off because you did great. But if you trade additionally, don't trade past your consistency if you've already achieved it, because you'll just have to earn more. Say you accidentally don't do it and you make $2,000 on your first day with a launch account. For that 50% consistency, you will then have to make 4,000 to pass, which is where some people get into tricky. Sinister was in a situation the other day with that, where he just like slayed his trade and made a ton of money. So then his target got bigger. So if you make $2,000 on your first day on a day and a 50K account, your profit target moves because of that consistency rule. So that's something to watch for, because you will have to make $4,000 in that scenario to pass. That was a lot of talking. How'd that go? Any questions? Does that make sense?
I thought it was very well explained.
Let me know. Yeah, 33% is basically split your wins into 3 days. So best case, you're winning every day, you're on fire. That's $1,000 each day, and then you pass your buffer for that 50K. Perfect. Yeah. And come anytime. I have been trading. Matt has more experience trading than me by far, in different varieties of trading, but I've traded prop consistently for 4 years now. And so those rules just roll off the tongue for me because I've been kind of in that world. Good.
That's why I always go to Becky with those questions. She has more experience trading the actual prop side than I do. But I am becoming a fan of the prop world.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I'm really becoming a fan of the prop world, especially for a lot of different types of traders.
Vodka's throwing out some boss advice right now too. Yeah, and don't hunt it. Like I say, if you're trying to pass that as fast as possible and you set it for 1520 and you get $850, you don't have to hunt the 1520. Like that can sometimes get you messed up, because if you have 850 from a really good trade and then you're like, but I should probably make more, I want to pass as fast as possible, that 850 can go to red 850 if you start to overtrade or get in any kind of a funky mood or whatever and overtrade hunting that 15. I have got myself in trouble in that situation, and tell me about it honestly if you have too. But hunting that 15 is not it. Like, try to lock in just good trades on good trades. And then the issue with having that daily loss set in your risk parameters is that you'll never blow through it on a killer day. But that doesn't mean that you've like not done your job if you haven't hit that in a day. Don't let that be your mentality, because that can mess you up.
At the end of the day, don't you think these rules are just forcing traders to maintain proper position size and risk association?
It is. It 100%. Like, some people complain about it, that they're being targeted and there's too many rules, but the rules make sense because BluSky wants you to be a live funded trader with them for years. Like, they want that positive relationship and you in the community. So it really is encouraging you to just not be a gambler and say, I'm going to put, 5 minis and throw it at the dart and see if it sticks.
Is this real life? That's got to be Nick.
Nick.
That's got to be Nick.
With 200K, you can scale up and build balance. Yeah, exactly. With the bigger accounts, you get more freedom to scale up and adjust and make bigger targets. I do think that those bigger numbers are a little bit startling for early traders, because then it feels like it can take forever to earn. So starting sometimes with micros and with the smaller accounts is a little bit, your mind can get used to the numbers that you start to see. Because sometimes, you're used to a day job and not trading money. Yes, we want the big flashy money that we see out there in the world, but it's not reasonable right away in trading. That shouldn't be your goal, because that can mess you up in having FOMO.
And the man with literally all the answers ever is RQ, and he is in the chat as well.
Yes.
Yes.
RQ, feel free to correct me on
It
anything.
has
'Cause
all the answers, every answer that you have ever needed in life, prop or non-prop.
hey,
If you
boss.
want like lifestyle questions, RQ's your dude.
Mhm. Aw.
Um, why are you trying to butter us, RQ?
I woke up like this.
You like I love RQ. RQ never says positive things to you and me. Like, no, it's rage baiting and sarcasm. Um, hmm. I miss you too. Is that just what this is? It's just like you miss hanging out with me and Becky. Is that what's going on?
No, where you been, RQ?
Like we miss you
Dang.
big time. We love RQ.
Good off for the tips. Oh, the team's all here. What up, friends? Whoop whoop. Yeah, come hang out.
That's right.
Tell
Well, I
your
now have
daytime
a lot of
boss that
time
you're
you did it
busy.
make me smile.
Come play with us.
Yeah, yeah. Come hang out with us more often. This is true.
Right.
True.
Should we talk price
Becky,
action for a minute?
let's talk price action because
Yeah.
I wasn't going to stop you because I'm like I'm just going to say this needs to develop a little bit more. But I kind of like the VWAP breakout at this point in the saga.
Yes.
What's your thoughts here?
I gotta get in sync with it.
Battle zone here, big time.
Yeah, we have really been oscillating VWAP for like hours, which is honestly my least favorite setup is when we're just dancing at right around VWAP. I feel like that
Well, that's
is
what
very muddy place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see an edge here, if I'm being honest. But most of the price action has been above it, but not by far, because then in the morning we started below it, we pushed above it, we did kind of a double top, and now we're just oscillating around it. So that's a lot of indecision and low volatility. So the setups are not grade A
Look at
at
those
this
2 wicks
location.
right there on the 15-minute time frame. Like boom, no,
Yeah.
boom. Those are big rejection.
Like paper cut situation from what I can see.
It's
What in favor?
that 78, 47, 48 level on the ES it's not that's why I'm like, if it breaks, I like it because it's not an easy break.
Yeah. I think I slightly would favor the shorts.
I did earlier and got stopped out.
Yeah. I think I saw that on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It couldn't make it to point of control. Earlier it pushed up and it failed quite a ways under a point of control on NQ. Same thing with ES. They couldn't make it.
Let's take a look
So
at
it's
it.
weakness.
Since we're fresh here, let's get both of them on the list here.
It's so simple.
NQ's on the right, ES on the left.
For me, it was like it started low. That push up this morning was nice. The double top was a sign they weren't getting much higher when it started breaking structure down. But then we couldn't even come all the way back to the low. So the bears couldn't get the job done either. They basically held in neutrality and now we're just oscillating. So in that situation, you could kind of scalp this. If it was a clean break, it would probably have to break under, is that like 494?
Like, I got a question for you on VWAP.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see the difference between you have the NQ dancing in and out of VWAP like it doesn't like VWAP's not even there.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what the NQ is doing. Like it could care less about VWAP right now. Whereas the ES is constantly hitting VWAP and coming back down. Like, do you see a difference in the two?
Yes. So NQ is getting above and below VWAP, and you're right, ES is holding more consistently underneath of it. So that is showing we should be favoring the bears. Every time we kiss it on ES, especially, it's rejecting off of it, and it hasn't closed the candle above it since this morning. And so that is the bearish sign for me, because it's holding as a gentle, like a dynamic resistance. And both of them, they're flat. And so for NQ, it's just basically telling me that this is not my setup. When it's the end of the day and it's on VWAP dancing with low volatility and it's paper cutting on both sides, that is not a tradable situation for me with any sort of edge. But ES actually does have a little bit better now that I'm looking at them both, because it is staying underneath VWAP. So then in that situation, it would be the rejection off VWAP, which we saw, oh gosh, just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, just a few minutes ago.
So that we could be in a short on ES, and then NQ they tend to go together. And NQ, my inclination is short as well, because it's not the breakouts at the top aren't working, but also the shorts are not working either. You'd have to really.
I think you're looking at it as short as long as you're underneath VWAP here, and because long as, especially on the ES, as long as you're underneath VWAP, that VWAP is also that bear stop out level where the 1 hour chart goes to neutral if you break back above. And so it's just a very important level. My only hesitation on the short, honestly, and I might be microanalyzing it, is slight increase in resistance against that
Mhm.
one and a constant increase in support pressuring. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of a battle here.
Yeah. Which that's like the hesitation I have with streaming sometimes is like, I love hanging out with you guys and I want us to like find a good trade. But this is not an environment that I enjoy because it's not giving a clear trade. Um,
Well, that's but I guess for me, like our job is not to make trades just to entertain people.
yeah.
Our job is to make trades that we have conviction in based on who we are as traders.
Yeah.
And I think as streamers, sometimes we feel an emotion to force the trade sometimes. Whereas I don't think our community would even want us to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I think if you ask
Right.
most people who watch Power Hour and watch BluSky TV in general, like, don't force it. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
agree with
Are
that.
you
Like
not entertained?
we shouldn't be encouraging people to throw good money after bad. Because
No.
honestly, I think you could scalp longs and shorts in this range until we got a clear breakout. Because like RQ mentioned, he sees longs right now. There's an argument for both, honestly. Right now, we've just seen two candles down on NQ. And so in that and what we have seen for the last couple of hours, now we get the bullish pushback against that. But then the question would be, can it break out of now a triple top inside of consolidation oscillating VWAP in the last hour and a half? So you'd want to scalp that and then lock in, have a stop gain in place in that situation.
As long as support increases against that resistance level, it threatens the breakout of VWAP.
Yeah, it does.
It just constantly puts pressure. I'm not sure we're gonna get it, but like it's hard for me at this point now that we have confirmation increase in support level
Yeah.
to get too aggressive here.
Well, and also something that makes me not like the shorts as much either is the fact that if you look at the day's shape, it's small, it's tight, it's like consolidated. And so the mean of today is actually higher than where both are trading because there's been some action above. And
Yeah.
so I like VWAP as much as like the mean of today, ES has a little bit room to kind of push back up to maybe like even around like the 51 area on
Wait a second,
ES.
Ace. Who's full porting this nonsense? What are we talking about? Like nobody's full porting today. Like, nobody. Like, who's full porting right now?
You guys know that I'm an aggressive
What's
trader,
going
and I
on?
can't even see something to put a micro on right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Full port nonsense. We'll full
nonsense.
port a doji. I had to do it because Ace was triggering me. I had to do it.
Rug
Yeah, I
symbols.
had to do it. Ace, I wish you were here earlier. We were talking SanDisk.
Ooh, yeah.
SanDisk above 1450 could be interesting.
Georgia, we're all about the entertainment, but no.
That's a good way to put it. Full port is a full teleport right to account closure. Thanks for passing by.
Right to pain.
Mhm. Right to the penalty box.
Uh-huh.
Think about your actions. Come back when you're cooled down.
There
Oh yeah, take care of that baby. It's
I
a little bit more
know.
important than entertaining me and our conversation on SanDisk.
Every time I think about Ace and I don't see him in the comments, I was like, well, he's got a little baby. Like 100% like snuggle that. Ugh. My baby is 4 and a lunatic. Like he's a full on like crazy
Oh,
town child. He's
I'm
not,
a baby whisperer.
oh, so cute.
There's not a baby screaming out of their mind that I can't calm down within at least 15 seconds, Becky.
Aw. I
Rage,
mean,
rage
he's a
out of this
sweet.
world, baby. Give them to me for 15 seconds. We're hanging out playing some ball. Mary, hello. I feel so fantastic that I am in the same sentence as Becky this time. I feel like I have achieved rarefied territory here today. I love that. I love that.
Mary loves us all.
Yeah. No, I know. I like the kid. I like the kid.
Welcome in. Baby needs to learn to fade, PA. That was Brian's
Oh,
actually
me and my wife, we
he's joking.
hang out with these two little babies. And one I have a very close bond with her. I love them both, but baby Nora hangs out on my lap a lot while we're trading. And if there's oftentimes baby Nora will be with me in other streams, and I'll be like, all right, baby Nora, should I make this trade here? If baby Nora points, like I'm making the trade. It's the only time I'll break technical rules, guys. If baby Nora tells me to make a trade, I'm like, I'm in. I trust it. I'm 3-0. I'm 3-0 in my last 3 baby Nora trades. So I'm just gonna trust it. Right on my trend line.
I know. She's right back at VWAP too and rejected like that. Attempted to kiss VWAP here on ES and rejected too. I think the edge is slightly to downside, but not for a home run. I don't see volatility here.
No, but NASDAQ shifted there. I agree with Jaja here. Baby Nora is better than stochastics, I can tell you that.
See, on point. If you short though, just watch yourself because it says that it has bounced off this level no less than 4 times in the last hour and a half. So it could break, but the last 4 times it said it could break and it did not. Just a tiny bit of word of caution. But also, I mean, it's pointed down right now.
Also, Jaja, it's not the Mag 7 any longer. It's the Mag 5. We have to kick out Meta and Tesla. Their earnings reports were garbage. They don't deserve to be mentioned in the quality of those other 5 names. And so, yeah, we're gonna hesitate on Mag 7 from now on. It's the Mag 5, and Tesla and Meta are see you later. Exit stage right. Yeah, crude oil did rip. Can crude oil break though? On crude 80, yeah, it's choppy as all get out, like the last few trading sessions, obviously, on crude oil. But you come out to the daily chart over here, 80 right there is the 9 EMA. So yeah, I would say that's a good target, especially if you get above pivot, which you currently are. So 80. Plus, you had a Iran just in the last hour. I don't know if that impacted in the last 20 minutes, but in the last hour, Iran came out and basically said, yeah, we're going to reopen the straits, and we're going to reopen it by not allowing any U.S. ships, no Israeli ships, and we're going to charge hefty tolls. And earlier in the session, it was Iran's going to open up the strait. We're close to a deal. And then we saw the parameters of it, and it's like, wait a second. That's no deal. Little counter trend action there. Honestly, that size of that crude oil candle, we should be knowing further downward pressure in price. That's the strength of earnings environment, basically. I'm not in anything yet.
I'm not either. I was in favor of the shorts off VWAP on ES, especially because they're all holding underneath it. And NASDAQ is just dancing around it, which is my least favorite conditions for power hour. At least if we can get some distance above and fade back in, or we can get a bounce off of it and a pump off in a certain direction, which is what ES is doing to the downside. They are staying on the downside of it, and they're bouncing it and fading it. But I missed that short. And Q is oscillating around it. And so it does have a resistance and a support. But right now, it's done the short to where it has bounced the 4 times in the last hour and a half, and so I don't want to short because it has proven to me that that's a bounce zone. So that is not a high likely setup for me too. So I don't. This is not worth my risk.
Yeah, we should have taken the short on ES and VWAP.
No, zoomed into my rules.
We should have done it. Remember that one next time.
Trend line yesterday.
Ace, they want 20% of cargo. I didn't read the details. They want 20% of cargo. What do they think they are? The mafia in 1935? Like, what are we talking about? 20% of cargo. Nobody's going to agree to that. All that's going to happen is more missiles are going to be dropped or bombs. Like, that's ridiculous.
Trend line on what time frame, Ace? Are you talking about uptrending 1 on NAS yesterday? On the daily or on the 15th?
Oh, on the daily? When I was on
we were shot straight up yesterday, or we go coming back to it. We're talking about the daily where we broke out and we came back to test it, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, so remember we had that wedge drawn on the larger time frame, and then we were like coming back to potentially test it. Oh wow. Yeah, they came back exactly this morning. Oh, that was sick. Good luck, vodka on your short. I'm gonna cheer for you. It's angling down, so it could. I mean, it could break. We have a half an hour. It could do something here for sure. Um, and I don't want to not answer the question that you asked a few while ago. We switched to the counts, but I think was it Rudy or Gaines had one more question about payout. But the payouts you can request daily once you get your buffer built, and then you have your buffer plus $100. So, and then anything above that you can request daily. 250 is the minimum request, and then you can request anything above your buffer every day. The thing is that just you have to not be in a trade when you request. So trade that morning if you want to, but when you put your request in, stop trading.
Oh, here we go, team.
Process it.
Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to miss this trade.
I think vodka's taking it for us. Iran struck hostile targets in Strait of Hormuz.
When Iran talks about hostile targets, they're talking about shipping containers. Iran can't strike the U.S. forces in the Gulf.
Yeah, it's now we got 30 minutes left. So there was a point right now of honestly we could go long here. I know everyone's eyeing the shorts, but I'm eyeing the current conditions that we're in. This is a buy zone for the last 2 hours. I want to be the healthy one. Love it. We'll see. Let me know if that answered your payout questions. But daily payouts after you build your buffer, minimum 250. No other prop firm has that, so welcome.
That's because BluSky is the best prop firm ever.
Number one. And the FAQ page is decent. And if it ever seems like what you're experiencing is not what you're understanding, just send in a ticket. Our customer service is the best of the best out there. So they will get back to you quickly and efficiently and accurately. So, but ask us coaches in the stream is no problem at all. And then there's the website has got some good answers there too, if it ever seems unclear. I wonder if we might get a little long out of this spot. I don't know. I'm gonna be a hater.
No, 34 is the support level.
It's held for hours now.
I see scalpers having fun here.
Yeah. There's that pump out of that level.
It's just a 10-point range on the ES.
Yeah. Both of them are so tight. So just, Yeah,
the scale here is important, team. Like
protect yourself.
That's what we're trading inside. That was that one day. This is what we're trading inside. Scale's important. You're killing me. You keep saying stuff I can't say on YouTube. Every time Ford said something, I have to read it like 4 times to make sure that it is appropriate for me to respond.
Before it comes out your mouth?
Yeah. Yes.
Love that. Okay. On 3, we're singing happy birthday to Ford because the other day you came into my psychology lab and I was so focused on what I was saying and you weren't in power hour and that was your actual birthday. I pay attention when you guys chat. Okay. So Matt, are you ready? 3.
Wait a second. It's not his birthday.
No, we missed it and we're singing it late. It's the party right now.
Yeah, but I missed this trade on VWAP. I can't go back in time.
You know what? 3, 2, 1.
I'm just trying to get out of singing on YouTube.
3.
Wait.
Come on.
We're singing happy birthday to Yucker Ford.
Yes. We had to say it like that too.
Right.
Team,
you got to sing with us, team.
Everyone sing with us.
All right.
2, 1. Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear Yucker
Yucker
Ford.
Ford. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
See, that was so
birthday.
painful.
It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Happy
Beautiful.
birthday week, Ford.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here with us at Blue Sky. Matt loves to sing, so everyone tell us your birthday always.
You give me some 70s Tom Petty, I'll sing it.
Yeah, we
You
need
give
some
me
background music next time.
uh-huh.
We gotta turn that.
You give me some let's go with Ziggy Stardust. We'll get down. We'll have some fun. We'll have some fun.
We do need to work on that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
We that was our first time. Practice, takes practice. Perfection takes practice.
Uh-huh. RQ, I see you. See you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us need to leave our day jobs.
Shame.
I
Shame.
couldn't.
Just shame.
Oh, Ann Hoster. We're just gonna say Ann Hoster because I can't do it more than once in a day. Happy birthday, Hoster!
Happy birthday, Hoster.
Here's the
RQ
summer
told me I
birthdays.
can't sing, so we're good. Oh, Ace,
We
down,
still love you.
down. By the way, Ace, RQ, you'll love this too. If we ever get some karaoke going, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're doing Piano Man, and we're gonna have fun doing Piano Man.
Ooh.
RQ, I could see you doing some Whitney Houston. Yeah,
That sounds
The
fun.
Bodyguard. You got to yell it out. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Can you hit that high note there, RQ? Tell you what, close your eyes there, Hoster, and just think about those sweet sounds, brother. Those sweet sounds.
RQ, that can be arranged. We can make that happen. Rudy, one trading day stems from after New York session, so after the close in the afternoon till the next day at market close. So no, Asia would count as the next day. It's like a 23-hour section of time. So it would be the same
next day.
Yeah.
Like technically.
Yeah.
The beginning of every day in the market begins with the Royal Bank of Australia opening up their bill.
Yep. That's pretty much the same across the board. No problem.
Forex futures, it's all the same.
Yeah. And that's why you have to have your prop accounts, your trades closed at the end of New York session, because they have to sort of like settle the score and let everything, be equalized out and see where everyone is at. So you can't hold your trades in a prop account.
The official day always starts with the Bank of Australia, and it always ends with the Bank of New York closing.
Boy, this could be a good launch for the next leg up when you look at that daily candle, the daily chart.
That's kind of what I was talking about in the lab. A lot of this is trying to understand where that support gets built on the daily chart to get us that next move. And we haven't seen the confirmation of that yet. We're just seeing this slow drift to the downside. But once the market does pivot, it'll be interesting on trending conditions here.
Yeah.
Nice. I just don't know how you have an opinion until this thing wants to break one way or the other.
I know.
Like scalp the high, scalp the low. That's what we should have done against VWAP. Next time, team. Next time. We're limiting this bad boy as close as we can to VWAP and taking cheap risk.
Yeah. It's too tight in here. So you gotta drill into that on these tight days.
And that's the thing with the way I like to get down, because I don't do a lot of scalping, so that when we are in these tight scalping ranges, like I don't think you can be the way I love to be in terms of entering with confirmation, stop orders. I think you got to maximize your levels a little bit more. That's the Blue Sky influence on me right there.
Yeah, I think I think that's the power hour situation of when our time is so limited, you have to kind of maximize, get the best entry that you can and be reasonable with your targets, because you don't have 7 hours for the trade to play out. We've got minutes, sometimes 45.
Literally,
but
like if you're asking for a pattern to get developed right here on a 5-minute chart, you don't have a lot of time. Like
yeah.
20 minutes left in the day. Rudy, there are no silly questions. In fact, before we answer the question, I'll just tell you a very quick 5-second story. I was in law school one day, and there was a young lady at the front of the room asked Professor Tommy Luntz. I'll always remember Tommy because Tommy was 5'2", 100 pounds, soaking wet, didn't really scare you in any capacity, except when he started talking. He put the fear of you know what in you. And this lady says to old Tommy Lund, Professor Tommy Lund, that is, says, Professor, I got a question, but it might be a dumb question. And Professor Lund stands up, big and tall, all 5'1", 2, 3 of him, 100 pounds, soaking wet, probably had to get on a high chair. And he says, you know what, young lady, there are no stupid questions. And there I am as a 1L student being like, oh, this guy's not that bad. There are no stupid questions, right? There's the only question that is dumb is the one you don't ask, right? So I'm thinking Tommy's going to say that. Tommy stands up on his high chair and Tommy says, young lady, there are no stupid questions. There's just really stupid people. And that lady did not ask another question the rest of the quarter. Okay. I tell that story not to say that there are stupid people, but to suggest that there are truly no dumb questions, because I'm the opposite of Tommy Lund. I want you to ask questions, but I never remembered a thing Tommy said in sports courts ever, not once, but I'll always remember him saying that.
You definitely have flow. Good. Sunday open is good. Sunday open gets some good volatility sometimes, but that will count for your Monday trade session.
I'm always around for the Sunday open, always.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I do my my weekly routine is kind of watching the futures open on Sunday, preparing for everything. By the way, I think this is a short setup.
Yeah, I think that last push up did not get anywhere. I think we have maybe a little bit more of a move down.
Let's go. You going?
Yeah, I'm going.
We're gonna give it a little room here. We're gonna target down to the low. We're gonna watch that one play out. I'm not keeping the stop loss there, by the way. But I do like the Sunday futures. I do. Rudy, I'm assuming the opposite. If you trade New York, that closes one trading day, but then if you go back to Asia, that's the second trading day. Yes, if you're trading like right now, you're trading in the New York session. If you trade tonight during the Asian session, that's a different day.
Mm-hmm.
Same day for us, but once that calendar shifts on the reopen, you are in the new day, which means the futures chart, when you're looking at it, that's going to be tomorrow's candle as well.
Mm-hmm.
We got no time here.
Uh-uh.
Go or don't.
No, I wonder if we can take out the last pivot on the Qs. It'd be 450.
It's 27 on the ES.
Yeah. 29 to 27 is
right there at 500.
Very close. Yeah.
If that gets underneath this level, I'm going to like both of our ability to get down to the support levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it could drop. Let's go. It's cool, mama.
Certainly feels like it wants to get to the low.
It does. Like that where I had the pivot a few minutes ago, it did not work.
I'm glad. I want to see the daily chart come down a little bit more. Like I'd much rather have a flag pivot than a high base break. Like, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah. We haven't bounced in 7 minutes, so.
Up, you're right, Ace. I hope you are right.
I know, right? Now we all short. Let's go.
I think we're all there.
Yeah, neither direction was really doing a lot, but they both are breaking down here. And ES kind of led that charge with not being able to get outside of VWAP at all. And NQ has been looking weak as well with the area they're resisting off of.
Team, don't forget to hit that like and share. Tell somebody about it. So all those funky YouTube things that we have to do to help with the Google algorithms. Constant battle. It's like battling VWAP earlier today. It's a constant battle with the YouTube algorithms, team. Help us with those YouTube algorithms. We'll continue to bring awesome A+ content to BluSky every day. Golfer Bill, I'm assuming you like to golf. I already like you. How quickly can you pass the 50K launch eval? Is it 3 days, and is the profit target 3K? Becky.
2 days, profit target 3K, yes. 50% consistency is correct, Ace. And so you don't want to, if you pass it, the absolute fastest you can pass it is making 1,500 a day for 2 days, and you're there. Quickest answer ever.
So 3% daily profit target?
50.
No,
Oh,
3% against 50 is 1,500.
oh yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of a cushion. Like I'll shoot for if I like when I set my risk settings, I'll set it at like 1540 or whatever. That way it like throws me just a little bit over it. And then that is within the, a reasonable, like it's like 1% of variance that will work. All right, Bears, show us some strength. Let's go.
Are you kidding me? Every bull and bear inside this 15-point range is a cowardly lion.
There's no volatility. It is not being fancy.
Who knew you would get a Wizard of Oz throw out today? But here we are.
You never know, man. Never know what's going to fit.
Tin Man gets a bad rap in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Tin Man.
I haven't seen that show for 30 years.
So. Okay, so Cowardly Lion, what's the Tin Man's issue? No.
Tin Man doesn't have any heart.
Heart, right?
Yeah, Cowardly Lion is a coward.
Yeah. And the Scarecrow has no brain.
Scarecrow has no brain.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can say the market's broken in a 15-point range where it's boring.
Yeah, it's a little paint dryish.
Ace, that is a rule I live by. Truly, speak it like you're at the top of Mount.
Why are you buttering him up?
Top of Mount Olympus. Bears get trades, not trends. Say it with me, everybody. Bears get trades, not trends.
All right.
Feel like Nick Cage in Face Off. I'm bored. Let's go. Hit target. Come on.
Face Off. I haven't seen that movie in forever either. I love that movie.
Great movie.
Ooh.
Nick Cage is Castor Troy. Over the top. Ridiculous. I just love it so much. That's right, Vodka. Face Off. Rip it off. Let's go.
Rip it off. Let's go. I'm down. That last attempt at that location for the Bulls, where they failed, is a really good sign. Because it didn't do a rebound like the other ones as strong.
No, we definitely have the edge. It's just a matter if it plays out the way we want it to.
I know.
That's the only thing you can do is put the trade on. The trading gods are going to take over after that, and you just have to make decisions on management. And since the market's not forcing us to make a decision on management yet, it hasn't moved since we did. It's just kind of dancing there. I just get to yell at it like I'm Nick Cage in Face Off.
I support this plan.
Wait a second, Nick. You're speaking a language that is truly foreign to me at this point. I watch Star Trek. Does that count? Thank you. Nick's yelling at me, everybody. He's currently yelling at me.
Get it together.
He's trying to get me to watch his anime stuff.
Yeah,
I'm fighting it. Blue-Eyed Samurai?
What?
What's good?
What's good about Blue-Eyed Samurai?
My wife and my son like some good anime on Netflix. I don't know what the show's called. I've never seen anime. Oh, I just offended you by calling it anime?
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, apparently I just offended anime lovers everywhere.
behave. Now, Rudy,
Yeah.
thank you for being on Team Blue Sky. We're super happy to have you here. Come back anytime. We stream open and close and are available for questions. So,
Rudy, you're awesome. Welcome to the team.
yeah. Ninja Scrolls. Okay. Ninja Scroll. All right. Ford and Ace are both talking about Ninja Scroll. What's that all about? Tell us more.
I think they're both into anime as well.
Maybe we'll encourage the
I
bears if
think
we
I'm
just
getting turned on here.
don't look at the charts.
Have a
like bears.
blessed rest of your day there, Rudy. We'll see you. Actually, you and I won't be here tomorrow.
Next week.
We'll see you on Monday. Oh, Ford, yeah, old school's fantastic. Old school's fantastic. Oh, there we got imbalanced, love. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. We finally get
Shoot it
imbalanced, love.
down. Sink
All
it.
right.
Sink it.
All right. You're gonna have to force me. Let's get lower.
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
I want to see this one play out a little bit.
Me too.
The crazy part is like, all right, we're gonna let this play out because I agree with Ace. The last 5 minutes is all that matters.
She could take it down. Come on. Go, go, go.
Vodka, were you telling Nick to get his T level checked? Nick, I don't know how you're gonna respond to that, but at target 1, let's see what happens. I just want to let this play
Sink
out.
it. Sink it. And Q's got some aggression as well. They could go down into like the 50, 450-ish range here.
Just blast it. Let's go.
I know. Get it.
I'm unfamiliar with the anime references, so I get very confused by them. And Nick hears that I'm anti-anime.
So you're a slacker.
Yeah.
My oldest son is anime, I feel like all teenage boys are. So he tells me some things, but the issue is if I can hear them, because sometimes he starts talking about it and I just don't have the bandwidth.
I've heard a lot of good things about certain anime shows. I've just never seen it. You then a T1000, Nick. Really? You're gonna go put yourself in Arnold's shoes. Huh. I was asking which one it was. So that was Terminator Genesis. Oh, that's T2. Yeah, that's T2. That's right. Okay. I should have got that. I actually watched Terminator yesterday. I fell asleep to some Terminator action. It was fantastic. I think it's just homework to get ready for the robotic AI movement in America. I just think it's required homework for all us to prepare for the robotics evolution.
All right, let's go. This is a nice drop here. Go. We got to trade at the end, everybody. Whoop. Fonzie, rugged.
All right. We got little time.
If ES takes out the low, what is that? 24?
The low is right around 24.
NQ's got a lot more for their low, so that's not in play. But the low of last pivot is 449. So 450 could be a target on this NQ short to take out that liquidity if we're hunting those pivots. It's 450 on NQ and 24 on ES.
We're tying up the distance here. 2 minute time frame.
She's bouncing here.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna get stopped out maybe, but I don't care. Profit. Yeah. That's some battles. Look at that 2 minute chart. I'll take this like in there. Little lunch tail money.
Yeah. She just has done not a lot of things. So it pokes below and then the buyers are
Poke below, buyers got. Did you trail and get out?
I trailed. I scaled one, and then I trailed and got out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I trailed. I took one out at there's a pivot point at 476.
Oh my goodness, those bulls are ferocious. What just got them now?
They're ripping the faces. They
What's
heard us
going on here?
smack.
You're 2-0. I am today 2-1 today. Oh no, you should never really trust the imbalance move.
It's a lot of wick. Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's a lot of wick. Good job, Cha-Cha. Whoop, whoop.
But that's a little shifty right there.
Yeah, she's doing some moves right now.
You know, kind of came to the low, worked back up.
She's firing off.
Range bound again. You're 19-1. No way. No way.
She's gonna throw us down.
He's like 2-1, Matt. Rookie numbers, pal.
Get on my lever, sucker.
Rookie numbers.
I like it. Good job. See, I think because trades different different accounts, which is good. Copy and put all your eggs in one basket. Like fall all over your face in one basket. I think 19 trades can happen faster than those of us who take 19 trades want to admit.
Especially if you're on the shorter time frames.
Yeah.
That was the overconfidence sport. So if I was 19-0, I'd have some overconfidence as well. I'd be pushing
a little wiggle room.
Yeah, I'd be pushing it a little bit too.
Happens. All right, these bulls. That was a pump. Yo.
Yeah, we went from having a good edge, feeling great about going into T1, T2, and all of a sudden, bulls ripped our face off.
Yeah.
Not the first time a bear has said that, by the way.
It happens both ways sometimes.
I'm sorry, I lied. You're right. It does happen both sides of the ledger. But historically,
yeah.
All right. I like the bulls ratio. Is this a triple bottom as of right this very second? It is on the 5 minute time frame. It is. Yes. Is triple bottom a thing? No, it just leads to confirmation that we're stuck in a little bit of meandering, slowing momentum, drift, nonsensical price action between support and resistance on a 20-point range.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen any real movement in the last 3 hours of the market today. Just a little bit of meandering from support to resistance. I still feel like the market, especially when you kind of look at the longer time frame here, the daily chart, for example. Why do my lines do that here? All of a sudden they go vertical. But I still think we're dealing with the larger construct of the pullback here. And so the triple bottom would be a scenario where you would see it coming back down into the low. That's the 24. And then you come down into 7. So if you breach the low here, you definitely come down into 7. That's where the 23% pullback on the daily chart is. And then that opens up all the way down to the 30s, 60 30s. There's some pockets here in this pullback that I think are still fairly interesting. And I know tomorrow's going to be a lot about labor and whatnot. But before we get to labor, we got to navigate overnight session. And we could see the market pull back a little bit more during the overnight session. I think it's going to be hard to get into like a breakout analysis on the daily chart this week. Well, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, I see so many times, like I call it like a meet in the middle, where you have that ultimate support zone at 76.30 with kind of where the 90 EMA is right now. And then you have the 7,700 level, which is the 23% level. There's that pocket there of about 70, 80 points on the ES. Well, the 90 EMA on the daily chart is going to meet up to that. And the most likely scenario in this pullback is you meet in the middle with the 90 EMA and you pivot. And so I still think like where my head is at going into the overnight session, I am certainly interested above 48. I mean, VWAP's going to be different, obviously, but I'm certainly interested above 48 for a potential move on the bull side. I still maintain the better trade is underneath 25, 24 in the pullback, but like we're currently at 38 in the middle of that range. So I'm very interested to see if we do breach and further the pullback going into the overnight session. Because until we're above 48 on the ES, it's still bearish on the longer on the hourly chart.
Yeah.
So as long as you're underneath that 48, 45 level right here, like you see this, that's a pivot point on the hourly chart. You break through there, that's open air. Like that's where that pivot is on the daily chart, is down around this level. That's a really good pullback zone too. So I still maintain the pullback is probably the preferred method in terms of the overnight session, but let's let the price do the talking here. Becky, awesome conversation in Power Hour. Always love our conversations in Power Hour. Team, thank you so much for hanging out with us during Power Hour and the lab earlier in the session. Thank you for hanging out with in BluSky TV in general. You guys are amazing. Love you guys. Becky, you got some final thoughts for the team?
Yeah, same. This was an interesting price action. We didn't have trades that we love, but there's some scalps in there. But I just really appreciate everyone hanging out and good conversation as well. And cheers to having a lovely evening, everyone. Take care. And any account questions, let us know, because it really is the best deal out there in prop funding. So we're here for it. Take care, everyone.
Team, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.